Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to 77 Mile Beach in Grand Cayman. So today we're doing a turtle release. This is one of our most visual conservation programs here for the Cayman Island, for the Cayman Turtle Conservation Education Center. Well, we call it Cayman Turtle Center for short. So this program has been in operation since 1968. So that's a little over 54 years now. And what we're going to do today is release what we call a head-started turtle. So the Cayman Turtle Center has operated a program of conservation through commercialization of a species. So what we do is we raise captive bred turtles and release them into the wild. So today our turtle here is about 3-4 years old. It's what we call a head start. So as you know, when turtles are born, they come from an egg which is about the size of a golf ball. It takes roughly 2 months for the eggs to hatch out. So we collect the eggs at our facility there in the Cayman Turtle Center, and we raise them in our hatchery. And from the hatchery, we can release them as hatchlings. But when they release them as hatchlings, that happens at night. And of course, as you know, sea turtles lay a lot of eggs because their babies, who are about the size of an Oreo cookie, they're basically fish food. So by releasing them at that stage, if you don't release a whole bunch of them, some are going to get eaten, some are not. By raising them up to 2, 3, 4 years old, what you've done is given the turtle a head start in life. So now it's bigger, stronger, faster. There are very few predators that can interfere with this animal. Unfortunately, one of those predators is humans. And humans do not have to actually touch a turtle to harm it. Plastic pollution, ocean pollution in general, is a major issue for sea turtles. Aside from natural causes like big sharks and climate change, human intervention, compromising their nesting sites, polluting the ocean. These are things that are affecting our sea turtles. And why sea turtles? Well, sea turtles are the national icon for the Cayman Islands. They're on our flag, they're on our currency. It's the reason we were discovered in the first place. The original name of the Cayman Islands was Tortugas because of all the sea turtles that the European explorers found around the islands. And they pretty much exploited this resource, collecting sea turtles from Cayman to feed their exploration ships. And over time, they slowly wiped them out. So what we're doing here is basically trying to bring these turtles back from the brink of extinction. Because in 1990, when the Department of Environment started doing their beach nesting surveys here in the Cayman Islands, they only found 1 sea turtle nest. But over time, that number has begun to increase. And what we have noticed is that when we started this release program in the 1980s, a sea turtle takes roughly 20 to 24 years to become sexually mature. So in 2000, all of a sudden, that number of nesting sea turtles began to increase over time. So we had a feeling, anecdotal evidence that suggests that the turtles that we released in the 80s are now maturing and coming back. So we checked that out just to make sure. A 2-year study was done between 2016 to 2018. And basically what they did was check the DNA of the wild nesting sea turtles and compared it to the DNA of the turtles in our breeding program. And what we discovered is that 90% of the wild nesting turtles here in the Grand Cayman can be traced back with a direct or indirect relation to our breeding herd. So basically, most of the turtles that you see out there are as a result of our program, together with the conservation and habitat protection the Department of Environment is doing. So what we're going to do is we're not going to waste too much time. Our protocol says that these turtles have to be getting in the water within 20 minutes of us arriving at the beach. So just so you know, these turtles are not satellite tracked. What they do have is in their shoulder, there's a pit tag. We have 2 full-time vets along with an animal care team, and they insert this pit tag so we can track this animal. So you're going to take a look here. Or can you? All right, so each one of these turtles is pit tagged. In that shoulder, that number is directly connected to this turtle. And if and when this turtle returns, if it's a female, it will return to nest and come up on the beach. If it's a male, most likely it will stay offshore. So we hope that if this turtle comes back up on the beach and they scan it, we can tell it's one of ours. But we already know that. We have been seeing return turtles, and we know through DNA evidence that our turtles do come back, and they do breed, and they are breeding and proliferating. So because of this, we're going to continue this program for the next 50-odd years, and hopefully bring these turtles back to a reasonable size, reasonable population size. Why sea turtles? Well, sea turtles are large marine herbivores, green sea turtles in particular. And marine herbivores are very important because they they basically affect their environment. They're what we call a keystone species. If you think of beavers, for example, or elephants, they can change a landscape very quickly, and that benefits other creatures. Sea turtles graze on seagrass and algae, and they basically keep the reef clean. They're the gardeners of the ocean. We do have some other herbivores, which are small fish, but one big sea turtle or two big sea turtles can do a lot more than one fish. So by having these turtles out there, they're basically keeping our ocean environment clean, and that benefits us further on, because diving is a big thing here in Cayman. Healthy reefs mean happy divers. Fisheries, healthy reef habitat means there's lots of fish breeding that people can catch. Okay? So what we're going to do is get this turtle into the water. Each turtle has its own way of doing this. They've been raised, the eggs have been incubated in sand from 7 Mile Beach. We take the turtle, we put it down in the sand, and it gets a chance to orient itself, set its GPS. So it'll come back here again in another 20, 25 years. So each turtle takes its own time. Some of them race straight in, some of them take a little while to go in. So we'll see what happens with this one. All right, so let's put him in. All right. Now this, as I said, is a green sea turtle. The green is the second largest of all the sea turtles out there. Okay. And this turtle has never seen the ocean before. It's been raised in a tank in a facility with a whole dedicated animal care team and 2 full-time vets. They go through a rigorous quarantine process, 3 months of quarantine and health checks before they're released into the ocean. So we make sure that these turtles are not carrying any diseases or anything like that can be transmitted out there. In fact, they're going out there to get infected, because the wild turtles out there are definitely carrying diseases and parasites. Okay. Some of the questions we get is, how will this turtle survive? It's never seen the ocean before. Well, the good thing is that sea turtles, like most reptiles, are instinctual learners. It's already embedded in them. Millions of years of evolution has prepared them to come out of a shell with no parental care, run into the ocean, and know what to do and what to eat. And being herbivores, these guys don't have to hunt. All they have to do is get out there and look for seagrass, seaweed, floating sargassum, anything like that. So any kind of sea plants is what they can feed on, which is a lot easier for them. Plus, these guys are in very good condition. We pick the best of the best, we fatten them up a little bit, so they can go probably a few weeks without eating before they actually have to find food. So it looks like this one is going straight in. Okay, so every time it pauses and looks around, that's a little bit of the GPS resetting. We do not know exactly how they do it, but we know that sea turtles have magnetic crystals in their brains that help them figure out the compass settings and the Earth's magnetic lines. How they actually use them, we're not sure. We know what they use, but we don't know actually how they use them. So what will happen with this turtle, once it hits the water, it's no longer our responsibility. It's now a wild sea turtle, and it's protected under the National Conservation Law of the Cayman Islands. It's now under the jurisdiction of the Department of Environment. And there he goes. So now we have a wild turtle back into the ocean, joining all the others out there to do what turtles do. So this turtle will orient itself by swimming up and down the beach, right? Again, resetting. So for a few days, they will, maybe a day or two, it'll be probably close to shore, and then it will head out to do its thing. Turtles that we've released in the past have left the Cayman Islands and have gone as far north as Cuba, as far south as Central America, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. So we know that these guys will wander around, but they will find their way back because they know that this is home. And one day, they will be back. So thank you for joining us today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope one day you get to come and visit the Cayman Islands and the Cayman Turtle Center and see what we're doing here for yourself. Thanks for coming, and have a great day.